Do you know what happens when you spend time outside every single day, no matter the weather or life events, and you do it in Alaska? That's what I'm working to find out. I'm Amy Bouchatz, and this is my weekly outdoor diary where I tell you what I've been seeing and learning through my own daily outdoor habit tackling the Humans Outside 365 challenge. Sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it's hilarious and full of fails. But it's always my real life. Let's go. Everyone has something outside that they hate. Okay, maybe you're a unicorn complete with sunshine and rainbows and you hate nothing. I'm a pretty intense optimist, so if you hate nothing, you must be extra special because you're definitely doing better than me. But even those who hate nothing can't have everything be their favorite things. So for you, I'm talking about whatever outside thing it is that is at the bottom of your preference list. Maybe you loathe buzzing insects so much that no amount of bug spray, head nets, or those Thermacell bug clearance zone thingies can convince you to go where those bugs might be. I get it. Bugs around your ears are pretty terrible. Maybe it's rain. If there's a chance of getting rained on, you are out. Rain gear doesn't matter. You don't want it. I get that too. Actually, constant rain over days and days is pretty high on my hate list too. But for me, there is one thing that gets me more than anything else. It starts out tolerable, and the longer it's around, the less I can handle it. And it doesn't take very long before every nerve ending in my body feels like it is zinging on an edge. That thing is wind. Howling, blowing, gusting, dirt spraying, ice and snow flinging, bone chilling, frostbite threatening wind. I hate it. The longer it's around, the more that's true. Stay with me for a moment while I get this off my chest, if you don't mind. It's not the one day of wind, it's not a gentle breeze that gets me. It's the days of howling without end where you drive down the street and the swirling, whirling snow and dirt assaults you in a spray of blasting misfortune. There is no escape from this wind. You got outside, you feel it. You drive in your car, it slams you. And the sound. You come inside, try to go to sleep, want to read a book, need a moment of peace, and the wind is out there, howling and blowing and making a racket. You can hear it when you go to bed. You can hear it when you wake up in the middle of the night. You can hear it in the morning. Let's just put it this way. I am over the wind. Now, of course, maybe you're thinking, Amy, why did you move to a place that is known for being windy if you hate wind? Yeah, that's a great question. We'll call this one of those downsides to moving somewhere sight unseen. I did not, in fact, know it was windy. I know. My bad. Actually, the first clue I had of this mighty wind of the Matanuska Valley was the day we pulled into town. A chilling 55 degrees and breezy June day. Cold on my bones, which were, by the way, accustomed at the time to Middle Tennessee sunshine. I wandered into the visitor center and asked with trepidation if it was often this windy here in lovely Palmer, and they told me that yes, the wind comes off the glacier, as if that was a good thing. But I think we can agree that, at minimum, wind coming off a glacier sounds pretty cold and possibly unpleasant. And I like to think I handle this wind pretty darn well most of the time, given that I hate it. But recently, recently I have not been handling it well. Recently, it has made every last nerve in my body stand on edge. And after more than 4 days of howling wind during one recent week, I'm still not recovered. Okay, so that's what I hate. But do I go outside anyway? I do. And yet when it's windy like that, the fact is that I simply cannot go out in that wind. Can't do it. Amy out. Which means I have to find a way around it. Because going outside isn't supposed to be torture. Going outside is supposed to be healing, wonderful, enlightening, a treat. It's supposed to be something I want to do, not something I dread. So, how do I go outside when the nature I have is wearing on my every last nerve? Yeah, I get creative, and I find a way to go outside in a way that doesn't feel bad. It's, of course, easy to say that, but it can be hard to do it, so let me break it down. If you think about it, getting outside when the thing I hate is happening takes 3 steps. They're not complicated, but they do require practical execution. First, I name it and claim it. What is it that I specifically hate? And what is happening when every part of my being doesn't want to be out there? Why is it happening? I've learned enough over my days outside to know that when every fiber of me is going against doing something, it's because for whatever reason, the thing doesn't feel safe. Maybe that safety is because I'm simply uncomfortable from a temperature perspective. Our bodies are so smart, they know that being too cold or too hot is not a good thing. So, I take a few moments to identify specifically what it is I'm hating and think through what it is about that thing that makes me not want to deal with it. Next, I try to make sure I don't judge myself. I think you can tell I'm a pretty go-hard kind of person. I want to prove to myself, primarily, but others at least a little, that I can do hard things. If it's wind that makes it hard, I want to prove I can face it. But this is, of course, judgment that I've simply manufactured. There's no moral imperative here, no thou shalt. And so I take a moment to release myself from that and do my best to have no judgment on me from me. Finally, I figure out a way to go outside anyway. Simply staying inside and avoiding what I don't like means I'll miss a day of my habit, and after more than 2,300 days, you know that's not happening. In a major windstorm a few years ago, I put on the big jacket and found an alcove outside my house the wind didn't hit, then ended up spending part of my time playing in the wind with my family anyway. And during the recent spate of multiple days of endless wind, I pulled out my weather app and found a spot in town that the wind was skipping, then took the time to drive there for my outdoor time. It was a safe harbor at a time that I needed it, and I was grateful. While putting together this podcast episode today, I did a quick search of past episodes to see how I've previously talked about handling unfun weather, and here is a fun fact. This is the third year in a row that in mid to late March, I have an episode whose primary point is how done I am with the winter wind. Apparently, anti-wind is my primary March mood. What can I say? At least I'm consistent. I also found that it's about this time that I post a picture with a caption noting that I am, in fact, solar-powered. The sun is coming back, y'all, and that's a March mood, too. I want to see pictures of your time outside regardless of mood. Tag them with #HumansOutside365. You can see pictures of my own outdoor time on Humans Outside on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, we'll see you out there.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.